What's going on, everyone? It's your friendly neighbor Hacker the Night Stalker. This is my very first video for gaming. I plan to do a lot of gaming stuff on this channel as I'm slowly get back into YouTube. So if you guys like this content, go ahead and let me know by liking it and subscribing. Anyways, me and my friends are big fans of Elite Dangerous. There's something about being given a spaceship and being told to go off and do what you want. Be able to forge your own destiny. With the learning curve for learning to fly the ship to the background simulation, it is so easy to immerse yourself in the galaxy you fly around, whether you are playing on PC or in VR. And notice I didn't say console. Well, that's because on March 10th, 2022, Frontier Development released a statement saying they will be ceasing development on console to focus on PC version of Elite. This is devastating to many console players that play Elite, but at the same time, with Frontier's rep, they kinda saw it coming. And naturally, the community of Elite started to ask, is Elite Dangerous dying? Like I said, Frontier Development released an announcement on March 10th, 2022. This announcement reads, and I quote, "Greeting, Commanders. Elite Dangerous is a game close to my heart. It is no secret that Odyssey's launch was less than ideal, including the need to split PC and console player base to focus on a PC-only launch. Since Odyssey's released in May of 2021, we worked tirelessly to improve Odyssey experience on PC, and while we have made great progress, there is still more to be done. We have been supporting the pre-Odyssey and post-Odyssey code bases since. Over the last several months, we have been wrestling with the best way to move forward, and it's with a heavy heart we've decided to cancel all console development. We need to be able to move forward with the story of the game, and in order for us to do this, we need to focus on a single code base. Elite Dangerous will continue on console as it is now together with critical updates, but we will focus on new content updates on PC on the post-Odyssey code base. We appreciate this news is not what our console community were hoping for. This is not an easy decision to make, but it was made with the long-term future of Elite Dangerous in mind. With regards to what's coming next in Elite Dangerous, we look forward to sharing future news in due course." This announcement shook the Elite Dangerous community on console to the core, and although some were angry, most were just disappointed. I can personally understand where Frontier is coming from with this decision, and like they said, it wasn't an easy decision. Frontier went silent for months before this update, so clearly they gave themselves a lot of time to think about what to do. Elite started out on PC and was later ported to the console, which isn't easy to do for a game like Elite, given all the buttons that are used on PC. And with how horrific the launch of Odyssey is, it is something that they needed to focus on. So frankly, I personally think that this is a good damage control move. Mostly because they aren't shutting down their Xbox and PlayStation servers. They just aren't going to do content updates for them. And from what it sounds, they are also planning on stopping updates for the base game on PC and shifting all their focus to Odyssey for the time being. But what is already in the game can still be played on console, and frankly that's a lot. One Reddit user on Elite Dangerous subreddit posted, "I uninstalled from my Xbox X series the day of the announcement out of disappointment and anger, but I'm putting it back on as we speak. Stats say I've got 1,100 hours in since starting in 2020, and I've enjoyed every minute of it, but knowing consoles will never get any new ships if they do release more does suck. Anyways, there's a lot I haven't done and experienced yet, and I don't see any reason really for me not to." This just shows that although it does suck, that shouldn't stop you from playing the game that you truly love. And other posts like this that I've come across seem to echo the same response. I could only find the player count for PC on Elite, unfortunately, but I can guarantee you that ever since the announcement, the count for console hasn't dropped based on my research. It has been steady, and even if console players leave and don't come back right away, they will come back eventually. Cause this happened with Odyssey on PC. When the Odyssey expansion released, many people who bought it left out of anger and disappointment. But soon after, the player count started going back up. They didn't play Odyssey, they played Horizons. They didn't touch Odyssey until it was fixed. And even now, there are still some players that play Odyssey because they find it fun, despite the problems that it has. Unlike other open worlds, where unless it's updated with new things consistently, you'll run out of things to do or explore, but with Elite, it's a one-on-one scale of the Milky Way galaxy and background simulation. It's hard to run out of things to do. You can have over 1,000 hours in the game and still be discovering new things in the galaxy. Frontier does have its problems with handling Elite Dangerous, and Odyssey is a prime example. But the outcry is making them deal with their mess up the best way they can. And if stopping all content updates on console to focus on Odyssey is the big current problem with Elite helps them do it, then it'll be worth it in the end. Like I said, it's a huge galaxy, and there's a lot to discover without other updates. So, to answer the big question, is Elite Dangerous dying? If you ask me, it's still too early to say for sure, but right now I'm going to say no, it's not. Despite the announcement, console players and PC players are still playing just as much. And the ones that left at the time of the announcement are steadily coming back already, realizing that the game is still enjoyable without a constant update every month. Frontier is going to continue work on Odyssey and attempts to redeem it, and when they do, they'll go back to updating the base game on PC and hopefully console. Because in the end, if you truly love a game, you'll always end up coming back to it. This same situation happened when Odyssey first released in 2021. Everybody left, but they came back. The same question was echoed back then. Is Elite Dangerous dying? It's all because of a fuck up with an expansion. And look where it is. It hasn't died. It still has its player base. Yes, some people did leave, but most people stayed, and they enjoyed the base game, not playing Odyssey, because the base game was still good. The base game was still functional. Odyssey didn't diminish what the base game was. All it was a simple add-on that was complete crap. Quite frankly, this isn't just the case for Elite Dangerous. A company that is infamous for making bad decisions, way worse than Frontier, is Games Workshop with Warhammer. They don't think about long-term with their games, and it's supposed to hurt them. But despite that, people still buy their miniatures, because they like the miniatures, they like the game. I think the Elite Dangerous community tends to overreact with stuff like this, and there are several games that no longer update, but tons of people still play them. The same question, like I said, was thrown around with Odyssey. People thought it would kill Elite, but it didn't. People still play in the masses. So again, it's too early to tell yet, but right now, Elite isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Bottom line, console players, don't stress yourself out with this announcement. All they're saying is that they're not going to do any major content updates, and most likely it's going to seem like it's the same for PC. So trust me, if that is the case, you're not alone. Of course, if you're still wanting to migrate to PC, go ahead. Do what you want. I could really care less. I can't tell you what to do. But don't stress yourself over the console version not having updates. Because as far as we know, it's temporary. And even without those updates, you can still have fun with what you have. Because there's so much more in the galaxy to explore. Have fun exploring the galaxy, Commanders. Godspeed. This is the Night Stalker, signing out.